Cops commit terrible actions and often get away from it, further boosting their egos. However, there are instances when these goons get to suffer the consequences of their actions as karma catches on to them pretty quickly. Just like this police officer who soon discovered why it's not smart to shout at innocent Uber drivers.
Do you understand me?
Sir, I am not saying...
Do you understand me?
Yes, I understand.
Okay, so stop it with your mouth.
Okay.
Stop it with your, for what, sir? For what, sir?
Okay.
Stop it with that bullshit. And realize the 3 vehicle and traffic law violations you committed.
Okay.
Okay? Do you understand me?
Yes,
I don't know what planet you think you're on right now.
I'm not planning, sir. I'm here.
Planning? I said planet.
I say I'm not
planet.
any, yeah, I'm not any planet.
This sucks.
Sorry about that.
Picked the wrong guy to honk at, obviously.
Pull over 5 feet. Do you understand me? Pull over.
Oh my god.
I have this on video in case you want to.
You have?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so
In
much.
case you need to submit it to someone.
The Uber driver was only asking the reason for the stop, but the officer didn't like him asking anything at all. The tyrant came over soon and kept on with his aggressive and ruthless demeanor.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, send me your email. I'll send it to you.
Okay.
I'll give you my card.
Now let me tell you something. The next time you do it again,
Okay.
you're getting your... Okay, what? You gonna let me finish?
Sir, I'm
Stop interrupting me.
Okay. Apologize. I'm sorry.
Well, who do you think you're talking to here?
Sir, I'm not saying nothing. I said
No, every
apologize.
time I open my mouth, you have something to say. When you're driving up my when I'm trying to park the car, and then you have to do something with your hands.
Sir, I just say...
I don't care what you have to say.
Okay.
Do you understand that?
Yeah, I understand.
People are allowed to park in this car,
Okay.
park their cars
Okay.
on the side of the street without your interference.
Okay, sir.
And then your opinion about what's going on.
Okay, sir.
Okay?
Apologize.
Especially when the person you're doing it to are the police.
Okay, sir. I apologize.
I don't know where you're coming from or where you
coming
think
from, sir.
you're appropriate in doing that.
Okay.
That doesn't, it's not the way it works.
Okay, sir.
How long have you been in this country?
Almost 2 years.
Jerry had no regard for the driver and the passengers sitting behind him as he continued to shout at him. It's really sad to see how these cops act once they have the power.
Almost how long?
2 years.
2 years. I got news for you, and use this lesson. Remember this in the future. Don't ever do that again.
Okay.
The only reason you're not in handcuffs going to jail and getting summonses in the precinct is because I have things to do.
Okay.
That's the only reason that's not happening. Because this isn't important enough for me. You're not important enough. Don't ever do that again. Are you a fare?
Yes.
You're a fare.
Yes.
And this guy is taking time out of your day for his vehicle and traffic violations.
Sure.
Thank you. Can you take that plate number, please?
I have his plate.
Okay, thank you so much.
Well, thankfully, the passengers made a video of this verbalist, and soon the video became very popular. Soon after this, the detective was stripped of his badge and gun and was placed on desk duty. Moreover, he was also removed from the FBI's Elite Joint Terrorism Task Force. Well, if you think this cop was extreme, the actions of these next cops will leave you stunned.
Put your hands.
What are you doing? Oh, Jesus. Oh, my God.
In June 2020, several officers from the Valdosta Police Department responded to a call from a drugstore employee that a person was harassing customers outside. The cops soon approached the area and found 47-year-old Antonio Smith walking down. They approached him and, without asking for identification, quickly escalated the situation.
Suspicious activity, man.
Suspicious activity? What? Where about?
They say they got someone.
View that camera. I told them what I was doing.
Oasis Signs right here next to the El
I
Rodeo.
told them what I was doing. I was waiting for my sister to Western Union me some money. I always go there and get Western Union, and they know me.
Hey, you got your ID on you?
Yes, I got my ID. What are you guys doing?
We're out here investigating suspicious activity,
Well,
sir.
I'm not doing anything. I've been around cameras, so I ain't been doing nothing.
All right. So what were you doing over there at the
Walking
Walgreens?
around waiting for Western Union. Call my sister right now. She's in Florida. You have a cell phone, call her. Don't
Call
try me
who?
like this. Call my sister in Florida. Don't do this. What are you doing? Oh my God! What are you doing?
Put your hands behind your back like you told. Put your
What
hands.
are you doing? Oh, Jesus. Oh my God. Oh, please.
As the officer was trying to talk to him, one tyrant officer came up and slammed him to the ground without even asking him anything. It was later revealed that he was not the person called for, and the cops had the wrong man. The other person also had a warrant out for his arrest and was roaming around the street.
Oh my God! Jesus! Oh my God! You broke my wrist! Oh my God!
Stop.
Oh my God!
Yeah, he might be broke.
Oh Jesus! Oh my God! 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 Oh Jesus! Oh, it hurt! Oh my God!
Yeah, hold on, relax.
Please.
Hold on.
Oh,
Put this arm up over your head. Back up. Put this arm up over your head. Right here. Sit up here.
Yeah, there you go.
And roll over on this side.
Roll over.
oh Lord!
What did you guys arrest me for?
You have a warrant for your arrest, please.
Hey, this was the other guy. The guy with the warrants over there.
Oh, what injury you
Huh?
like a warrant?
No, there's two different people.
Two different.
Because they pointed this guy out to me.
Okay, I got you.
That's him.
Smith was injured so badly that he suffered a broken wrist. He was laying on the ground in pain, and that's when the officers realized they had apprehended the wrong person.
No,
That's the other guy.
the other guy is over there. They pointed out two different people.
Okay.
They got the guy with a warrant. This guy, I had just got contact with him.
I thought this was wrong with the warrant.
No, that's why I was trying to. No, because there's two different people. That's why I was trying to figure out if I had missed something. He told him to put his hands behind his back. Because they pointed this guy out too. The people at the store pointed him out also.
Why didn't you tell me something? I thought he was the one with the warrant.
No, well, I thought I had missed something. He told him to put his hands behind his back. That's why I thought I had missed something. Because it's two different people. Because they just pointed this guy out to me.
Who did? In reference to what?
Reference to whatever was going on over there. They said this is the guy, but apparently there's another guy over there too. Because the lady.
They wanted CT on him as well?
I don't know. I hadn't even asked. They just said right there, right there, right there.
All of this could have been avoided if the corrupt officer hadn't just gone right in and tried to handcuff him. Smith was telling the truth from the beginning, but these tyrants just wouldn't believe him.
I'm so confused. Wait.
Okay, so
He's not the one with the warrant?
no. Apparently he has a warrant. So whenever they were talking to him, Swore said, "Hey, come over here and see if there's another guy," because that guy said, "Hey, there's another guy also." So when I walk on the side of the store, people are there like, that guy. I was like, "Hey, he's walking through the red roof in." So I thought this was the guy that they were calling about, because he said, because that guy said he's not the one that had to call him. He said it was this guy. So whenever he was walking down, I was like, all right, well, I went back to go grab my car, and I got him stopped here. And then he was like, "Hey, put your hands on me back," and I thought that I had missed something.
Actually, Hal, 29 East Hill Avenue. Oh,
God.
Get his ID and stuff?
Yeah.
Did you run him?
Yeah.
Good?
Yeah.
And just like that, the officers released him from the handcuffs, but they still had no remorse on their faces. They didn't even call an ambulance for him, as he just walked away from the scene like nothing happened.
You said what, man?
As I was getting ready to put my hands behind my back, he forcefully picked me up.
Okay.
Oh, Jesus.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. Look at me.
They're going to come in there. I guess if you want to cancel with them, you can. Or
You want it back in your pocket? Or?
here, put your pocket. He explained to you what was happening, right? Mm-hmm. Okay.
I heard the whole thing.
Okay. Right. You don't want to wait for the EMS? No. You sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
All right.
The cops also left the scene, and just a few months after this incident, Mr. Smith filed a civil rights lawsuit against the police department and the city, demanding $700,000 in damages. The city offered him $350,000 for a settlement, and it's for Mr. Smith to accept or decline. These tyrants made a huge mistake, but even that fades away in front of what this officer did.
So tell me to shut up and don't scream at me. I'm not doing anything.
In March 2023, State Trooper Michael Harbin was on his usual patrol route when he saw a car speeding by and immediately conducted a traffic stop.
me to get us insurance for this? No what? I mean, I can pull it up, but the law requires you to have it. Yeah, pull it up. Look, where's the stop? Give me the speed.
The woman driving the vehicle was identified as Jessica, and she acted calm through the initial proceedings. However, suddenly the officer started to act aggressively and completely lost his composure when Jessica confronted him for his behavior.
When I got behind you, you were doing 165.
Oh, listen. At one time. And then that car pulled right.
Listen to me, listen to me. If you keep lying to me.
I'm not lying to you. There's no license.
Where's your insurance?
You have my insurance.
Where's it at?
Check,
Listen to me, the law requires you to provide it. Not for me.
Why are you screaming?
Because you're not giving it to me, so now you're going to get a ticket for it, okay?
The law does not provide you to scream at me at all.
It gives me the authorized to do it, though. Yes, it does.
Nobody has the authorization to scream at somebody, sir.
Listen to me.
I've never heard in my life.
Shut up and listen to me.
Don't tell me to shut up, sir. Don't tell me to shut up and don't scream at me. I'm not doing anything illegal. Okay. Okay.
Speeding, seatbelt, hair cover.
Michael got the documents he needed and returned to his police cruiser to write her a ticket. This should have been the end of this stop, but the trooper had some other sinister ideas.
Alright, listen, you are received citations for speeding, insurance. You know what? Listen to me, this is your traffic stop. What you need to do is this is right here, you can read them. I'll explain it to them. I'm required to. Right here. If you don't be quiet, you can go to jail. How's that?
Are you going to take me to jail for what? You're not doing this. You're not doing this. What are we doing? Why am I going to jail for?
Get out the fucking...
Your problem.
Get out, right now. Get out. 3. I'm about to tase you. 3. 2.
For what?
Disorderly conduct. Get out.
Are you kidding me? My car is running.
Sing arrest right now. Put it in the
My
park.
car is running. Crazy asshole. What are you doing?
This vicious was unnecessary, and Michael should have left by handing her the citation. However, he was not in his senses and kept on escalating the matter.
Get the fuck.
What, are you going to shoot me?
33 on me, yeah.
No, fuck.
Poor Jessica was forcefully removed from her car without any reason and was brutally tased by the trooper. He then proceeded to handcuff her as she kept crying. The poor lady had no idea what had went wrong, and she couldn't even ask anybody for help. Jessica seemed to be in a tough situation, and that's when the trooper started to explain his actions. It was obvious that she had broken no laws whatsoever, and the cop was just taking his frustrations out on her.
Have a seat. You don't listen unless I raise my voice, apparently.
I'm not your child.
You're entitled to what?
I said I'm not your child.
I don't give a. You don't want to listen to me. It's going to happen that way. So now you can go to jail for disorderly conduct, resisting arrest, and public profanity right there.
He cussed me. Car's running.
I don't give a if it's running or not.
Now you want to cuss.
Major mouth. Doing the damn listen on one side.
My major mouth is him. Why don't you play back the video cam, the body cam, and just be done with it?
Hold on. You don't tell me my job, man.
You just asked me what my mouth was. You just asked me a question.
Have I raised my voice? Have I yelled at you? No, ma'am. I'm a supervisor. Let me explain this.
Okay.
Bring it down. I didn't bring it up.
I can't hear. He's got his radio on. The speakers on.
Today's not the day.
I can't hear you.
The trooper didn't stop there, as moments later, backup also arrived and they started to search her car. Once again, it was beyond understanding why she was being subjected to such treatment. The trooper also started explaining the arrest to his fellow, and he still wasn't making any sense.
She wanted to argue with me about she wasn't seeing the car in front of her was doing a lot faster and all this other crap, and I'm trying to talk to her and she just kept interrupting me. I said, you ain't entitled to raise your voice, you ain't entitled to do anything to hold my team. And she kept saying, no, I said, shut up. And she, oh my God, I'm getting my camera. I said, get the camera. I said, I'll be back shortly. So I wrote her 4 violations. Came back trying to explain them to her. She tried to rip the damn thing out of my head. I'm like, oh, don't you where men go? Causing a scene.
Y'all good? Y'all need me to come back down? Nah,
I got her to do it. I thought to take it out. I was going to originally take her to jail for the dang tag now. Said it's writing her ticket. I didn't write that ticket yet. I just wrote the other 4. Now that's my 5th one. And she said I'm not getting legal here, but I'm not for sure. I think it is.
Next up, we have a unique case where a police officer turned up against his corrupt chief.
Garrity can be given to make it perfectly clear that there is an obligation on the employee's part to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, kind of an idea.
Mm-hmm.
And so Garrity provides protections to an employee, like in your spot, having to do with potential criminal investigation. Doesn't say crimes can't be brought if Garrity is given, but instead is saying anything that we were to talk about here cannot be shared with criminal investigators. Well, there's already been a criminal investigation conducted. We know there's no crimes that are going to come of that. And so at least that piece is not on the table, and so we won't do it. If we were concerned about your ability to tell the truth, or we questioned any of those things, then we would also consider giving Garrity. We're not in that boat. So you're not in trouble.
Sheriff Jared Rigby, a close friend of Chief Booth, conducted the interview. From the start of the interrogation, he appeared pretty hostile and used intimidation tactics to scare off McTaggart.
I know lots of times officers get concerned about the consequences of what they say, meaning how that affects them with their coworkers. And I do get that, kind of the informal, kind of between officers, crews, supervisors. Are they going to be upset with me? Any of those kinds of things. So, it's not a criminal investigation. It's not a Garrity interview. The first question really that we have is, we know that you're the FTO to Adrian Gondaria on this call, March 31st, 2021, right?
Mm-hmm.
Liberty Station, Jesse Rodriguez. And then from there there end up being concerns in the police department about how it was handled, specifically whether there was excessive use of force, and even more specific, whether Dave Booth used any excessive use of force. So, what do you know, or what was your involvement in after March 31st and that incident, and then discussion with others?
Rigby was more concerned about whether McTaggart had said anything to the officers involved rather than uncovering the whole truth about the incident. He conveniently ignored the entire event as he questioned McTaggart about it.
It's been a while, so I don't 100% recall timing on everything or anything like that, but I know I discussed with, I think, 3 other officers. And I discussed with a supervisor.
Okay, is the supervisor one of the 3 officers or separate?
Separate.
Okay, can you tell us more about that, the officers and the supervisor?
I believe I talked about it with Rojo, Richard, and I actually want to say Weischer, but that was kind of random because he was just in the office randomly.
And the supervisor?
Jarvie.
Okay, and what were the circumstances there?
My discussion with my supervisor?
Uh-huh.
I was doing what I was obligated to do by policy based on what I had seen.
So, help us understand the circumstances of how that conversation happened.
Officer McTaggart followed departmental policy on reporting any use of excessive force when he spoke to his supervisor. Rigby, on the other hand, continued to stress this issue.
Who was on your crew at that time?
Well, I was FTOing Adrian. So it's just me. It was just me and Jarvie, and then I was training Adrian.
So just the 3 of you on that crew, on Jarvie's crew?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, at that point, you're the only 2 on the crew, and he is your crew supervisor.
Yes.
Okay. And this happened in Sergeant Jarvie's office. Is it day crew, is it a day shift or a night shift?
I don't remember. I could look back. Adrian may have been out doing paperwork in the office while the door was closed.
Okay.
I don't.
Door was closed.
If he was in the office, the door would have been closed. It wasn't a conversation I would have had for other people to hear.
Did you consider it a formal conversation?
Yes.
So what were the concerns that you raised?
That I observed an officer use excessive force. Or what I perceived to be excessive force from where I saw it happen.
You're concerned about Dave Booth using excessive force?
Correct.
And you communicated that to Sergeant Jarvie?
I did.
During the incident, McTaggart was alongside Officer Adrian, whom he was training. Finally, Rigby asked him about what had happened earlier, and he told the truth.
At what point do you think that Dave Booth used excessive force?
When he put his hand on Jesse's neck and squeezed his neck to put him into the back of, I believe it was Adrian's car, but that patrol car.
So, to say it accurately, when in recovered, he knew that the recording was going. Okay. When he put his hand on Jesse's neck and squeezed, is that accurate?
Yes.
And put him inside the car.
McTaggart was fearless throughout the interview and never had a change of thoughts. He explained how he was troubled by the incident, as he now had to tell a junior officer he was training that the chief broke the law and went against policy.
Were there any other concerns that you had about excessive use of force?
Nope.
Anything else, any other concerns that you raised at the time with Sergeant Jarvie having to do with the incident?
Only how to deal with that. how to have that conversation with somebody that I was training to be a new officer who I thought witnessed it, because it was just the three of us there. Everybody else was kind of milling around scene. As you know, there's a lot of people on scene at that point, just the way the previous use of force with Jesse had gone down and the emergency button and everything. But to my recollection and my perception was at that moment, it was Jesse, Chief, Adrian, and me, and kind of our own little world. And so that was, I mean, honestly, that was the most upsetting thing to me about it at the time, was that I was going to have to reconcile that with somebody who I was trying to teach how to be a cop. I just didn't know how to approach it with him. Do I, obviously a difficult situation where it's Chief. If it was another line level officer, yeah, like, hey, this is cut and dry. What you saw happen there was wrong and not the way we do things, and that'll be dealt with, but you don't need to worry about that, but we need to have that conversation. And that's just a little bit more of a difficult conversation with somebody who's, I mean, it was a difficult situation for me to be in, and I'm experienced and I have no issue being on a scene with Chief and, and all of that stuff. And then imagine that from a brand new guy still in training who turns out was having a very hard time in training.
Yeah.
McTaggart oozed confidence and never appeared nervous in front of the sheriff. However, that's when Rigby started to intimidate him, claiming that what he saw was wrong and that excessive force was never used.
What I mean by that is, you're seeing excessive use of force. That's not your decision. That is a determination that the department will make.
Sure.
And so, I like and I appreciate and I respect you going through the process. Hey, I have a concern, you raise it to your sergeant, that's the right thing to do. And maybe I'm misunderstanding what you're saying here, but the way that it's coming across to me, at least at this point, is that you're feeling like you have to explain to the new employee that the Chief just used excessive use of force and now we gotta work through that. Am I misunderstanding that?
You're not. The way that I perceived that, it was pretty cut and dry from what I perceived. I was right there with it, and I didn't see anything, especially with, we've just been told chokeholds are against policy and all, George Floyd and everything else and people going to prison and all of this stuff. And then we see that happen, and that was very clear to me that was inappropriate.
The officer was well aware of the department's policies and the law surrounding the appropriate use of force. It's great to see such officers existing in the police department, but seeing Rigby gaslighting them into breaking them is truly shameful.
Being applying pressure to the neck, I mean, they're saying George Floyd, they're relating that to a chokehold, and he had a knee on the back of his neck, and you can't stop breathing from the back of the neck.
So,
I mean, what?
Is that what your policy talks about with chokehold? Is anything that applies pressure to the neck?
I don't know, honestly. I don't know off the top of my head right now. But and to back up, that wasn't anything on the back of the neck. I mean, I watched his hands squeeze around the front of his neck.
How long do you think that lasted?
I have thought about that because my other concern when I researched what my obligation was is, coming across the duty to intervene. And so I had a second to myself to, should I have stepped in and grabbed Chief's arm and said, hey, quit? I think by time everything processed what was happening, it was done. So I think, and I never saw the video, so I never saw it besides in that moment. But
So this is just your recollection from your eyewitness account. You've never reviewed or watched a video since that?
Not of that part, no.
Okay. After listening to his entire story, the sheriff and the other detective questioned McTaggart on why he was the only one to challenge the excessive force, while Adrian remained quiet. Once again, McTaggart confidently responded, silencing them.
There was nothing brought up by Adrian as far as any concerns?
No, but he wasn't really one to bring stuff up. He was kind of just doing this for the whole time.
Okay.
Through FTO, I mean.
No, I get you.
Or his part of FTO.
Okay.
All right, so
and maybe I'm not, I don't know, maybe I'm not communicating it well. you know, I take pride in training new officers in that position and the importance of that position. And so that, I guess that was you know, me having Adrian there was just something else onto that issue. That issue would have been that issue with just me there. And she, you know, I saw what I saw independent of Adrian. And then on top of all of that, on what I was, you know, figuring out what I needed to do, what our policy said, what the law said, I had the thought, Adrian was there too and was in a position where he could have saw exactly what I saw. So how, you know, do I need to have that conversation with him, and how specifically do I need to have that conversation with him?
So when did you have the conversation with Adrian?
Either that day that I talked to Jarvie or within the next shift or two, quickly after.
Rigby claimed that McTaggart was wrong to have a conversation with Adrian, as he should have followed an alternative route.
There's a process for figuring that out. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't sit with an officer, and it doesn't sit with a sergeant, and it goes up like it did. Mm-hmm. And ultimately it goes to the chief's supervisor. Mm-hmm. And then there's a criminal investigation on it, and then the decision on that, and then there's an IA that's done on it, and then there's a decision on that. And what has been done, or at least it somewhat looks like it's been done, is, well, Adrian's already been told that that was not the way to be doing it. Although it wasn't specific, it was just generalized that that wasn't the way to be doing things.
The sheriff was again in the wrong, as McTaggart had every right to inform the officer he was training about any actions violating the law. Otherwise, what's the point of hands-on training if it doesn't teach integrity and adherence to the law?
I understand what you're saying. I guess questions on where that's coming from, because I feel like you're obviously already prepared with that information you just gave me, right?
What's that?
That whole speech just barely that you just gave me about how I handled it and that my department thinks it's wrong. I mean, I'm assuming that sounds like it was something that came from you before the conversation that we just had.
No, that is me hearing this for the first time.
Okay.
And applying what I know.
Okay.
And then me going back to them and saying, this is the statement I made on your behalf.
Okay.
That's what it is. And then they'll honor it.
Sure.
Because that's what we're doing here.
And then maybe it needs to be more clear that I in no way threw Chief under the bus to Adrian. I mean, that was why I made it a point to do that, is that was me trying to have a conversation on, I guess, appropriate use of force or whatever that may be, without throwing Chief under the bus, knowing, you know, having seen what I'd seen.
Okay.
McTaggart was again on point, as he was just doing his duty as a field training officer. However, Rigby kept intimidating him, making it increasingly apparent that they only punished McTaggart for speaking up against the wrongdoing he had witnessed.
Sergeant Jarvie in his office shared your concern, because this is what then what was your understanding of what was going to happen from there?
There was no expectation of anything else to happen.
Okay. So he didn't
my
say,
understanding
well,
of my
I'll go and do this or that or anything like that?
He definitely gave no statement of this is going to happen next.
Was there any statement as far as like, this has got to be fill in the blank? I don't know what it would be, but was there an expectation on your part?
No.
It's like,
no.
Did it be handled a certain way, or?
No, I made it clear from the beginning that I was doing what I felt like I was obligated to do, and that was where that's why I was having that conversation, because policy said that, and so I was fulfilling policy. Policy said report it to a supervisor, so I made that clear. This is me reporting it to you. I'm done with it.
So
The officer clarified that he had no sinister reason to report the incident, but had only followed the department's policy. However, it appears that the Heber City Police Department does not tolerate good police officers. Moments later, Rigby actually started to defend the chief's action.
I don't have anything against you, I don't. But there's this one part in the interview with DPS that confuses me. So, you end up saying they ask you a few times about your concerns and whether you felt like there was excessive use of force. And you said that you were concerned, but based on your perspective of where you were, because you were back and not up right front, you didn't see anything that led up to that choking, however it's characterized. And so it might have been justified. You just didn't see that. You just saw Dave Booth's hand on Rodriguez's neck.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if
I remember that. I remember saying that, yeah.
Despite being pressured for an hour, McTaggart remained adamant in his belief, refusing to change his statement.
I observed excessive force. I was also recognizing that excessive force is not determined by my perspective. That's what it was. It's as simple as that. I was, especially where that was a criminal investigation, so I'm not going to sit there. You know, obviously I'm going to be honest, and this is what I saw, and I explained what I saw, and so I made that statement to acknowledge that knowing what I saw is this perspective. And so maybe I'll clarify to you then. I do not believe that there was anything that warranted that, but I also acknowledge that it is a possibility that something could have happened that I didn't see. That's a possibility.
Once again, Rigby changed his entire narrative and started claiming that the suspect had done something that forced the officer to go hands-on with him. However, he is once again in the wrong, as there's no departmental policy that allows an officer to use force against someone's neck in any condition whatsoever.
So taking his hand and putting it on Rodriguez's
I didn't directly observe anything that warranted it. So I can definitely say that, because that's my observations, right? And from where I was, which was close, it was, behind Adrian, but still close. Mm-hmm. I don't really, there's no way that it didn't seem likely to me that something would have warranted it. I'm just acknowledging that I'm not, all seeing and all knowing.
Yeah. Okay. For both the criminal and the administrative review, there is no excessive use of force. So your perception is wrong. And so you'll just have to figure out how best to go about that from here on out. I could go into more detail about why that is. I don't want to kind of belabor the point when the main thing is knowing that that's just not. You and anyone else that thinks that that's how it is, that might have been your perspective at the time, but it's been found to be false. So there was no excessive use of force.
Within a moment, Rigby changed the narrative of the entire investigation, claiming that there was no use of excessive force. He even showed resentment toward the officer for speaking against his chief.
And each one, you're supposed to follow a certain way of doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you're coming to your sergeant and doing a formal complaint, there's certain things that are supposed to happen. So it says in policy that you're supposed to come immediately. And so I don't know that you coming within a few days is immediate, but I think it's pretty close. I don't have a problem with that.
And I was going to say, is enough time for me to read the policy and figure out what I'm supposed to do and then do it,
I think
considered immediately?
Yes.
I mean, I felt like I was
doing the best you can.
Yeah.
It's got to be written So you've got to do a written statement on what your concern is.
So I guess let me ask this. That's obviously in a separate policy.
From what?
For the process to file a complaint, right? Is that the policy that you're...
Separate from use of force in two different places, you mean?
Well, because the policy that I came across was policy that I was doing what I was doing, and hopefully you have it, you probably have it, is...
So there's use of force.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was doing right there, is that orange paragraph. That's what I was doing. It says report. So I wasn't filing a formal complaint on chief. That's not what I was doing. I was satisfying that highlighted part right there. And I didn't even read the formal complaint policy because that's not what I was doing.
Rigby once again tried to undermine the officer's actions of reporting the incident, but he had no clue that McTaggart was one fine officer who had done everything according to the policy. The sheriff is demonstrating how difficult it is for an officer to call out a mistake made by a senior officer.
You're not trying to do an investigation that so-and-so just brought you, then pass it on. So you're informing the proper supervisors, you're finding out what they want to have happen.
Mm-hmm.
And from there, then they get the right people involved that they want to have involved.
Yeah.
So just don't want anyone thinking, and again, this is something that you can take to the bank. It's not just what I think or how we run things here in the sheriff's office or something like that. I'm speaking for the police department when I say that when there is a concern that someone raises, or a complaint, you can use them interchangeably, that someone raises, it immediately needs to go to the proper supervisor.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got to be documented. So citizens sometimes don't want to document.
Suddenly, the entire focus shifted to McTaggart as the sheriff claimed he did not follow the correct procedure. Throughout the interview, there were no discussions about whether Chief Booth did something wrong.
What Dave Booth did is not even use of force. Now, people might disagree with that, but in policy, it's saying here, the application of physical technique or tactic. So it's like, okay, so what did Dave do? He took it and put it on Rodriguez's neck and squeezed. I don't know if there's a dispute on what that technique or tactic is. Okay. Technique or tactic. So were we taught to do that somehow in any of our trainings? Grab someone by the throat and do that kind of a thing? So the application of physical technique or tactic, chemical agent, or a weapon to another person. It's not a use of force when a person allows himself or herself to be searched, escorted, or handcuffed. So by the definition, if you're not taught the technique or tactic, it's not a use of force.
Rigby again went out of the line to defend the chief's action, but he had no clue that McTaggart even had the perfect reply.
Well, I mean, the statement you just made, if I punch somebody in the throat, but I've never been taught to do that, then that's not a use of force. Is that...
So in your trainings...
Maybe I'm misunderstanding you, because your statement sounds ridiculous to me.
In your trainings, you've never been taught to punch someone?
Not in the throat, no. Like, we've been taught to grab people, but we've never been taught to grab people by the throat. So, I mean, it's what it...
Yeah, right.
How specific are you going to be on
That's my point, is that you've never been taught to grab someone by the throat. So you have to take...
We've been taught specifically to not grab people by the throat.
No, I disagree. You've been taught to not do a chokehold.
Okay.
And then when it comes down to what a chokehold is, it comes down to blood flow or airflow.
McTaggart was almost destroying whatever evidence was thrown at him, and that's when Rigby tried threatening him by questioning his future on the police force.
But I thought a lot about it, and I made a very informed decision, and I'm a very experienced officer, and I read case law, and I read lawsuits, and I know what is appropriate use of force. or my perspective of what appropriate use of force is. Obviously, I'm not the one who determines it, and it was determined that it wasn't. And I understand all of that. But what you're saying is not changing my perspective of what I saw. Nothing's going to change that. That's why we're here, right?
Yeah. Well,
because
Lucas, it really comes down to the future, your future in the police department.
Sure.
So you can dig in your heels and say,
and that's not what I'm doing.
This is how I feel, and no one's going to change. And okay, that's your decision. You just won't get any trusted positions having to do with DT and use of force and sergeant and those kinds of things because you're not willing to learn and be open-minded to it.
Sure.
So I'm just trying to help you understand that Lexipol and the attorneys that wrote it, the prosecutors that reviewed the criminal case and fit it within the statute and how it fits into the policy. And then us going through this as well. Everyone's saying what happened there is not a use of force.
Rigby eventually went over to demonstrate what actually happened, as he was now openly supporting his friend Booth.
But when you look at the recordings of what happened, and you go frame by frame, you have Jesse James Rodriguez, who actually sits down in the vehicle. They're moving him. He's going back and forth at points. He is compliant. He's not. He wants to go a different direction. It's gradient level of compliance. It's not like you're all 100% compliant or 100% not compliant.
Right.
It's this kind of level of how that works. So, point is, Jesse James Rodriguez goes and sits in the vehicle. They get him in the vehicle. Now he decides he wants to come out. So now he's being some level of non-compliant. So he's coming out, he's leading with his head, and he and Dave Booth are now like this. And whether he doesn't make statements about kissing him until later, but at this point in time, he's known to be a spitter. Dave Booth is wondering whether he's going to bite him. Dave Booth takes him and pushes him, and it hits him higher, somewhere in through here. And pushes him back in, separating space. And then from there, Rodriguez comes out again. And that's when Dave Booth's hand catches him here, and he's pushing him back in. Now, when I say incidental, this is one frame. You can go frame, frame by frame. Here, his hand isn't there. Here, his hand is there. Here, his hand isn't there. And so you have to figure out the timing of that video, but this is something like 1 to 2 seconds.
McTaggart countered the sheriff again, asserting that the situation was being handled strictly only because the chief had been questioned. If it had been another officer, things would have been handled differently.
Can you appreciate that this situation was changed by who it was? If this had been another officer, that probably, and I don't know because it wasn't, but that probably would have been the conversation immediately. It made things different because of who it was. It made things very serious immediately, in my mind.
And I'm not through.
That's why
I'm not through with an investigation, so I get a question with it because I think you have a valid point.
Sure. From the beginning of all of it, I was trying to do the right thing. That's what I always try to do. I don't think anybody can question my integrity in anything I've done in this job, and I stand by that.
Finally, Rigby realized that he wouldn't be able to get anything out of McTaggart because he had been honest throughout the encounter. Then he asked McTaggart to write a formal complaint and explain everything he had encountered that day.
Doing a statement or a report on the issue. Yeah, those are the follow-up things that we have.
Okay. Do you need a statement right now, or you want me to do
What's
that
going to be
on
next
time?
time, do you think?
Well, you've got a half hour before you leave. How long do you think it's going to take you to fill out a statement on this?
Not a half hour.
Not a half hour? Then let's just get it done and over with. Let's do it now. If that's okay with you.
Yeah, and to be clear, you want my written statement to be what my specific concern was that I brought forward to my supervisor.
That's right.
Okay.
Yep, put in the circumstances around there. I mean, but yeah.
Okay.
Simple as that.
Okay, I think you did well. Okay? Okay. May I shake your hand?
Absolutely.
Well, this chief might have gotten away, but this power-tripping officer was served some instant karma by his senior officer.
This morning she was itching all over.
You can go back to work. That's what I pay you to do, isn't it?
What's that?
Go back to work.
I'm sorry, no, you're trespassing right now. That's why I'm asking you what you're doing.
Trespassing on public property that I pay for?
Yes.
Can I have your name and badge number, please?
Yes. You can also take this.
Officer David Laird escalated the simple situation by approaching him and arresting him without any reason. Barry had no clue what was happening as he was on public property.
Yes. You can't take this. We find out who you are. Okay. So what is it you're doing back here?
Hey guys.
Your phone is perfectly fine.
Hey
and
guys,
it's on still. See that?
go ahead and call.
Step
Stop
over
podcast,
here.
please.
We're talking to you. So step over here and tell us what you're doing back here. This is private property, and that's why we're asking you.
How can a police department be private property?
You have an ID with you.
How can a police department be
You have an
private
ID
property?
with you, sir.
Ma'am, did you turn my phone off?
You got a.
That's a violation of my First Amendment.
The cops had already made several violations of his rights as Officer David went to physically move him away. The officer kept asking him questions, only making the situation worse for him.
What's your full name and date of birth? What's your full name and date of birth?
Can I please talk to a supervisor?
What's your full name and date of birth?
You guys are working on getting a lawsuit. Can you
So
please?
listen, you're fixing to be arrested for failure to ID if you don't identify yourself.
That's a secondary charge. What's the primary
You understand?
charge? What's the primary
Do you
charge?
understand?
What's the primary charge, sir?
What is your name and date of birth?
Sir, what's the primary charge?
You are being detained right
I'm not
now.
going to answer anything. If I'm detained, then I don't have to talk to you. I like my lawyer, please.
Thank you.
And if I'm not detained, I'm free to go.
What is your name and date of birth then?
I like my attorney, please.
Set him down, make sure he doesn't have any weapons on him.
Officer David was on a power trip as he instructed his fellow cops to illegally search him. However, soon after, a sergeant came out alone and Officer David was about to be taken to the cleaners.
He's back here walking by the units recording.
He's just recording.
Yeah. So he's just detained right now. I'll cut him loose, I don't mind, but.
First Amendment right, sir?
Huh?
Yeah, he's one of those. You hear that?
Yeah, that's fine with me.
No sign restricting me from coming back here, sir. Excuse me, sir. You the supervisor?
So.
You guys gonna let me go now?
Yeah, we'll let you go. Let's take him and walk him over there.
Can you please make sure my phone is still on? If you turn off my phone, I'll be filing a lawsuit against you for violating my First Amendment rights. That phone
Let's
is
take him
my
over.
record.
Cuffs off.
Can you please get my phone first? I want my phone to record this.
What do you need?
That is my
I said
official
let's
record.
walk
You
him
cannot
over.
interfere with my First Amendment right. Please bring my phone back.
I don't know who that was.
Please record them taking my cuffs off. Ma'am? Please record them taking my handcuffs off.
The sergeant took no time to order his release, and Barry was now all over the tyrant officer. However, the cop had no remorse for his actions and never apologized for detaining an innocent individual.
You gonna calm the down next time?
Oh, I'm very calm. I'm always calm.
You ran up and grabbed me, threw handcuffs on me for a First Amendment.
I don't know what you're back here for.
You just got yourself in a world of.
Go ahead.
You don't need to know what I'm back here for. What did I do, sir? What was your reasonable, articulable suspicion that I had committed a crime, was about to commit a crime, or had just committed a crime?
You're standing around walking back here recording us in our unit.
Oh, so that's against the law? Recording you is against the law. Did you hear that, guys? This was Officer. Sorry, what's your name and badge number?
David Laird.
Sorry?
David Laird.
Good. I'm going to get to know it very well.
Okay.
You'll be listed in the lawsuit.
You have that card for that other one?
They're still up there in the front.
Yeah.
They're already starting to cover up. I need everyone's badge. I need no. I'm pretty long, pretty safe.
So we need fences back here. You have your card? Or the card? No, they're waiting over here so I can go to them.
Officer David calmly left the scene as if nothing had happened. However, Barry was not going to calm down so easily as he kept following these cops demanding some accountability.
I need the lieutenant out here, or I need the chief of police out here. You guys are not just going to walk away from this. I'm sorry. That officer fucked up big time. Where is he? Where's he or she? Sir, you look like a sergeant. Can you please come over here and talk to me? They're running away, guys, like a bunch of scared rats because they know they just stepped in it big time. Now they're just completely ignoring me. You guys are going to pay a lot for this. The city of South Padre Island is going to have to pay for this. Who's coming out to talk to me? Who's coming out to talk to me? They're all trying to ignore me, you guys. They're all trying to ignore me. They know they just stepped in it big time. Who's coming out to talk to me, sir?
What?
Who's coming out to talk to me?
I don't know, man. I just got here.
Okay, well, you just got here. Now you're in it too. Name and badge number. You should have stopped that officer. I warned him. I warned him that he was fucking up.
559. Yeah.
That's your badge number?
Oh, no.
Surprisingly, no officer came out to even have a conversation with him as they considered themselves too entitled to be held accountable. However, Barry soon decided to file a lawsuit against Officer David and the city. As of now, the lawsuit is under proceedings, but we can only hope that he gets the justice he deserves, along with a hefty compensation. However, this isn't the last time a police officer got some poetic karma.
The camera. 1.
Whoa.
2.
Don't shoot
3.
me.
You're under arrest.
Whoa.
On June 15th, 2016, a First Amendment auditor was just covering a public parking lot of the police department and municipal court in South Carolina when a police officer came over to confront him.
How are you today?
What's your name and badge number?
I'm Corporal Shradd at the Greer Police Department. How are you?
I'm all right.
Okay. Is there any reason why you're videotaping? I'm just curious. You're not in any trouble. There's nothing here other than we got called and told that you were walking around the parking lot. So, any particular reason for it? No, you're not going to answer. So we're just going to have to stare off because I'm recording you and you're recording me. Is that what we're going to do? Do you have your ID on you?
Have I done anything wrong?
Well, you're recording a suspicious activity, which puts this into a category of suspicious activity,
It's-
which means that
it's
Terry
a-
versus Ohio, I can detain you until I can determine or deny that there's
Terry
criminal
v.
activity
Ohio
going on.
says speech activity is not enough for reasonable cause for ID.
The auditor, Mr. Valentine, was well versed in the law and refused to be intimidated by the officer. He kept on filming, which was his constitutional right, and kept ignoring the officer. However, the officer wasn't alone, as he was soon joined by a corporal.
There's already a call on it, so yes.
So
it will.
suspicious activity, is that a felony or misdemeanor?
That's a misdemeanor.
No, it's not.
Yes, sir.
And I can't believe you just sat here and lied.
Yep. Go ahead and give me your ID.
Can you call your supervisor to the scene?
I am a supervisor.
I need another one.
Okay.
I need a lieutenant or somebody else.
Okay. Above me?
Actually, I'll go and do this type of thing.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
so.
just curious.
I mean,
not
hey.
any criminal activity, there's nothing to worry about.
So why are you asking for my ID then?
Because you're not answering me, and when you're not answering me, how do I know you're not filming this parking lot to come shoot it up?
It's called the Fifth Amendment, right?
So I can check on that if it's suspicious, and the part of that checking is to identify you. So if I get your
It's
ID,
suspicious, a felony or misdemeanor.
Even the officers knew deep down that the auditor was right, as he was making complete sense, but they didn't have the guts to accept the truth. Shortly after, a sergeant arrived and he kept escalating the matter.
Hey, sir. Again,
Name, badge number?
Sergeant Forrester, 301.
All right, how you doing?
Good. How can I help you?
Well, he contacted me, wanted my ID for no reason, so I need a supervisor to let him know that, without any crime being committed, I don't have to present my ID.
Well, he actually got a call on you.
Well, what crime have I committed?
Well, anytime somebody calls in and reports suspicious activity,
It's suspicious of felony or misdemeanor.
it's neither one. But he asked.
Oh, okay, thank you. So he said it was a misdemeanor. So now we have a conflict on which one it is.
Well, these cops may have been tyrants, but this sergeant was taking things to a whole new level.
We don't have a conflict at all. We have a conflict with
Hold
the
on,
way you're acting,
whoa,
sir.
whoa.
Taping
Whoa.
a parking lot in today's
Whoa.
day and age, that's fine.
Whoa.
That's fine. You ain't got to whoa nothing.
Whoa.
Today-
What's your name and badge number?
My badge number is 201. It's
Whoa.
Lieutenant Holcomb.
Whoa.
HOLCOMBE. Now,
Whoa.
let me have an ID.
This is the intimidation factor
let
right
me
here.
have an ID. please.
What crime have I committed? What crime have I committed?
An ID.
What crime have I committed?
An ID. You're gonna be failure to listen to a law enforcement officer ask you for an ID.
What crime have I committed?
An ID?
What crime? What crime have I committed?
Have you got an ID?
What crime have I committed?
Videotaping our parking lot and walking around the police.
Is that a crime?
Yes, sir. Right now, in
It is.
the day and age that we're dealing with, yes, sir. It is a crime.
What crime have I committed today?
Anytime there's a suspicious person.
Is that a felony or a misdemeanor?
It's a. Let me see
Whoa,
your ID.
whoa.
You got the count of
Whoa.
3 or you're going to jail.
The sergeant was being incredibly aggressive as he had no respect for Mr. Valentine. He kept threatening him with arrest, but the auditor was unfazed as he knew his rights very well.
I see I got one hand on the camera.
1,
Whoa.
2,
Don't shoot
3.
me.
You're under arrest.
Whoa.
Yes, you were.
The officers proceeded to handcuff him just for filming in public and refusing to give his ID, which he was again not legally required to do so. Soon the cops took him to the back of the police cruiser and snatched his phone. However, the camera was still on and we can hear the cops in the background.
Guess what? You're going to see the inside of the South Carolina jail.
Oh,
Right
now you want
here.
to rank it. There you go.
Like I heard you say something.
We got a call that he was walking through the Century Insurance parking lot. They filmed our parking lot. I guess he filmed him when he drove by, so I got out and started talking to him. He just wouldn't answer me at all. Put your hand back.
The only reason these cops came over was because of a call. It's bizarre to think how a 911 call made by any unknown person can have you in jail while you are breaking no laws.
And I told him, I said, we're Terry versus Ohio, now you're being suspicious, so I can detain you, and I didn't see your ID. What crime have I committed? Didn't have an ID. It's probably going to be that guy from
This new scenario that develops in the plot of the movie.
I'll look it up.
Do you think the same could be said for right now in advance of the possibility of something like this happening? These seem very much there since that we've got to, as individuals, come
friendly
together and
conversations.
be responsible about doing all we can to push back on these infringements on constitutional rights. Isn't that what's necessary now?
Private facility as well. What I'll do too is, because I don't know what's on the cell phone or what you're recording. I think that cell phone should go, right?
That would be a good idea.
He knows what you're doing.
It's a good idea. Get a talk with the detective so you go search for him, download everything on it.
I'm sorry? I've got your phone.
Mr. Valentine was then taken to the police station, but was soon let go. However, this video caused severe uproar on the internet, and as a result of this, the police chief resigned just 3 months later. Well, these cops turned out to be tyrants, but the actions of the next officers will leave you shocked.
Lift up your shirt and turn around. Walk back.
I am livid. You know what?
No, I understand that.
And you guys have him handcuffed. He just got out of school. You're talking about a 4.2 GPA kid.
On August 15th, 2022, España Police Department put out a BOLO, or a B, on the lookout for a white Toyota pickup truck that had been used by someone committing robberies in the city earlier in the day. Soon after, a New Mexico State police officer observed a vehicle that matched the description and initiated a traffic stop of it. However, he had no idea that he was making a huge mistake.
756, suspect in that robbery. 76 and 106. Hey, let me see you get out! Put your hands up! Open the door! Put your hands up! Walk back! No, hey, no! Open, let me see your hands! Walk out! Walk out! Walk back! Lift up your shirt. Turn around. Lift up your shirt and turn around. Walk back. Turn around, walk back. Walk. Keep on walking back. 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 Get on your knees. Get on your knees. Hands on your head. Stay right there. Keep your hand on your head. Up. I'll track this way.
The person sitting inside the truck was not the suspect they were looking for. In fact, he was a 17-year-old high school student, Adam Pacheco, who had been mistaken as the suspect.
That's your truck? Yeah. You were in school the whole time?
Yeah. I live here. This is my house.
That's the same truck?
Same truck, bro.
Yeah.
Who is this?
Who's this truck registered to?
This is my truck. This is my dad's.
Your dad's?
His name's Adam Pacheco.
Okay, who's Lisa?
Lisa? That's my stepmom.
Where's she at?
She's at home.
Where?
What's it called? That's the movie theater.
La Mesilla?
Yeah, La Mesilla.
No, that's where the mom is.
Which is Lisa, right?
Adam was visibly confused and shocked to see loaded fire pointed at him. He had no clue what had happened, as the useless officers had mistaken his truck for the one used for the police. They proceeded to make him sit in the back of the police cruiser as they continued their investigation.
I said, man, you're under arrest, brother. Just have a seat. You want to call your mom? What do you want to do? You want to call your mom? Where's your phone at?
It dropped, I think.
I think you left it in your...
No, it dropped.
Oh, it dropped over here?
I think it dropped now.
Okay, I'll go get it. Hey, I'll go get it. And then we'll call your mom, okay? This is it?
No, but I don't know if it's like the actual truck they saw him something.
You know my mom's...
Huh?
That's
I know, that's what I'm saying.
There's no way. That truck's registered to Lisa, right?
Yeah, to both of them.
No, it's just under her.
It's just her? You got nothing on, no weapons? No? I'm gonna take off the handcuffs, sir.
Hi. I don't know. So, like, there's cops here at the house. And I tried to pull into the house and I got pulled over. And then, I don't know.
The teenager soon called his mom, who was furious at the police officers for this misconduct. This was extremely unprofessional and embarrassing for the cops.
Right now, so the truck that you're driving matches the description of an armed robbery that took place in the city today. Okay. Well, like I said, it just matched the description, so we're just... So he's under arrest, but the police department wants to talk to him. That's fine. Like I said, we're just holding him for Espional Police Department to get here.
It's outside the house.
Just outside the house.
We're at the intersection of 106 and 76.
So did it happen today?
Okay, that's fine.
What's up?
That happened today?
Yeah.
Where was that at?
So in the city, but your truck was like given. Yeah. It was.
So
Yeah, I understand that, man.
The officers tried to explain the situation to the concerned mother, but she couldn't think of anything else but to take her anger out on the cops.
Hello?
I'm talking.
Oh, sorry, ma'am, I couldn't hear you. So I guess there was a confusion, but this was a truck that we were giving out to look out for.
I am livid. You know what?
No, I understand that.
And you guys had him fucking handcuffed. He just got out of school. You're talking about a 4.2 GPA kid.
I understand, ma'am, but that's the information that we're given, you know. So that's why we pulled him over.
Your information before.
Yes, ma'am, but that's the information that we were given.
Name, and I need your badge number.
Okay, Officer Rodriguez.
And what is your badge number?
135 now.
135?
Yes, ma'am.
You will be hearing from my attorney. This
Okay.
is ridiculous.
That's fine, ma'am.
You literally detained him and put him in handcuffs. He's a fucking minor.
No, I understand, but at the time we don't know that, so that's what we were rolling for.
What are you doing with him now? I
So he's gonna get released. He's gonna go home.
This is fucking ridiculous. You
Yes,
will
ma'am.
be hearing from my attorney.
Okay, that's fine.
What is your manager? Is this Espanola PD or who the hell are you?
So Espanola PD is the one that received the call, and they're the ones that put out the bolo for the vehicle. This is state police.
This is ridiculous. And nothing in your right mind said he's a fucking minor?
No, ma'am. Well, we don't know. We don't know because the vehicle is not registered to him. It's registered to you, right?
The corrupt cops were still not accepting their mistake as they kept giving lame excuses for the arrest. However, finally, the boy's mother arrived at the scene and the cops let him go.
Give me your supervisor's name.
Okay, so it's Lieutenant Casales.
Fucking ridiculous. I will call him because apparently you're an idiot.
Okay. Go ahead, ma'am. That's fine. There you go. What's up? You're good to go, bro. Yeah. No worries.
She's just freaked out. I was freaked out.
No, that's fine, man. Is that her?
No, that's my Nina. That's my...
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. So you're good to go? Yeah, you're good to go, man.
So I can take the truck?
Yeah, you can take the truck.
Sorry, babe.
No.
What's going on?
No, so we were given information that this vehicle was possibly used in an armed robbery earlier in the day. So that's why we pulled it over.
Is this what was going on by McCurdy?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next up, we have another case of police brutality that ended up costing his career.
Show me out on that auto pit.
I said I was.
You all right?
We had a little get together. He's being stubborn about getting checked out, but he said he's all right. I'm all right. So we're just.
You all right?
I told him I want to take
No,
him down.
I ain't all right. I need about $1 million, and then I'll be all right.
Well, you ain't getting that, so.
Yeah.
Well, no shit.
I'm trying to get him. He's always
You
up and down my
can go
street,
ahead and
so
get that.
I want to get you
I
down.
got that. I can put that.
Okay.
Even though it's a complicated.
Yeah. Well, so what do you want to do? I can take you.
65-year-old Michael Skurlock was riding the bicycle and got agitated after being struck by the car. Moreover, the officer did not try to de-escalate the situation and kept making matters challenging for the old guy.
63, he's not injured, no ambulance needed. Can you run Michael Skurlock?
No, I think I'm on the flip that cover over. I don't think you're going at it right. There you go.
Yeah, I got the tools at the house. You know where I live.
You didn't do that on purpose.
No, sir.
63, did you get my last transmission?
I'll come by.
Stop by the house. You know where I be.
I'm glad that you are somebody I know.
Hey, hold on. Don't go anywhere yet.
What do you mean don't go anywhere yet?
Exactly what the fuck I mean. Don't go anywhere yet.
Hey, what the fuck has it ever done?
I was.
What?
What happened?
He hit me accidentally.
EMS is not needed.
I was looking that way to go, and I was starting to ease out. And the next time I see a flash in front of him, he goes.
I was worrying about fucking flat.
Skurlock wanted to ride away because he thought the matter was over. However, the officer was conducting an investigation and ordered him to stop until he was done.
Now, I ain't worried about flat. Look at that fucking wheel. Wee!
Where were you driving?
I got to fix a flat in that son. And it ain't supposed to fix bicycle tires. It adheres the tube to the tire. And that is leaking down. Boom, bang. Let's get this. Now, where you should go. All right, am I through?
No.
What have I got to do?
You gotta wait here.
What for? Tell me.
Till we finish our investigation.
Investigation? There ain't
Matter of fact, have a seat. Have a seat on the curb.
Matter of fact, I was out there laying.
Have a seat on the curb.
The old man agreed and the matter appeared resolved in a few minutes. However, suddenly, Officer Kingsley had a moment of madness as he did the unthinkable.
You're not listening to me.
Have a seat
That's
on the
what
curb.
you're supposed to do.
Have a seat on the curb.
He hit me. He hit me, and I thought he saw me.
Hey, have a seat on the curb.
I'm gonna look for my stuff, young man.
All right, turn around.
Come on, now wait a minute.
Hey, relax.
What are you doing?
Hey, you're gonna have a seat. Sit down.
I'll try to have a seat if you'll let go of me. You don't own me.
Put your hands behind your back.
The officer didn't even regard his old age and his helplessness as he banged his head into the police cruiser before throwing him onto the concrete pavement. Skurlock was unconscious, and instead of helping him, the officers kept on with their business and refused to even lend him a hand.
Is he out?
Huh?
Is he out?
It's absolutely disgusting to see police officers treat citizens like this. And to make it worse, the cops were trying to frame the situation as if he was drunk.
You know his name?
Michael Skurlock, I believe.
Is he drunk?
Huh?
Is he drunk?
I don't know. I tried to get him to sit down because it looked like he was going to walk away. He wouldn't do it, so now I told him, put your hands behind your back and start resisting.
Let me get his information so I can get him out of here. You good holding him? You want some gloves or something?
I mean, I already touched him. I got some gloves.
Ultimately, EMS was called, and Skurlock regained consciousness. He was soon taken to jail, and when he appeared in front of the judge for the first time, he was in terrible condition and needed to be in the hospital.
You got a car, don't you?
A car for what?
To get me home.
No, I don't have a car to get you home in. Come on.
Mr. Skurlock, you have the right to remain silent. You have the right to a lawyer. You have the right to have a lawyer present at any interview at the place or
What for?
You have the right to terminate any interview at any time. You don't have to make a statement, but I must warn you, any statement you make can will be used against you. You're charged with public intoxication. I'm going to set a bond of $581. Can you make bond, sir? I take that as a no.
Yeah, I guess.
What are you going to do? What do we do?
Oh,
He can't say. He got some laceration on his head.
Okay, payment plan or
Yes,
this?
payment plan.
Okay.
Oh, how am I here?
He couldn't even stand up on his own, failing to maintain his balance. It was obvious that he needed medical attention.
You got arrested for public intoxication yesterday.
I got beat on this today.
Having signed that, fill that out. If it has any information, we'll go from there.
Man, I ain't got no way out of here.
No, you're getting out.
You getting out? Sign right here for me.
Oh, God.
Give me your name on it the best you can.
Man, I can't see.
Huh?
I can't see. How do I touch? Here.
Right here. Sign your name the best you can.
Okay.
Surprisingly, after giving him a little first aid, the officers moved him here instead of taking him to the hospital.
Okay. Just sit right there on the bench for me.
I think this one got, I think this is.
God, mighty.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Okay, hey, you're gonna have to be quiet.
I see that.
You have to be quiet by that court.
Man.
Destiny, come on.
I can't come on.
The judge is out here.
No.
Sit right there.
The jail staff noticed his deteriorating health and instantly took him to the hospital. It was discovered that Scurlock had a brain bleed and was admitted to an intensive care unit. He spent the next 2 weeks in ICU before he was discharged. However, he remained in the hospital for the next 9 months before he passed away in December 2022. Officer Kinsley was initially cleared of any wrongdoing, but soon he was held accountable and charged with official oppression, a misdemeanor and injury to the elderly, a felony. He could face a sentence of up to 11 years if found guilty. This officer was certainly in the wrong, but you'll be shocked to see the reaction of this female officer when she heard no. On January 16, 2022, Camden County Sheriff's Deputy Christine Newman was on her routine patrol when she noticed a car running a stop sign. She immediately made a traffic stop and went over to confront the driver.
Hello. Hey. Does that roll down? It's dark. Alright. You got your driver's license? Alright. The reason why I pulled you over is you didn't stop at that. She's non-judgment suspended. But she's the only one in the car, so I can't let her drive off. I mean, I can let her sit right here until I leave.
The woman driving the car was compliant and gave her license to the deputy, who returned to her car and didn't seem to be in a good mood. However, no one knew how she would escalate the situation in the next few minutes.
She's on private property at this point. I can't make her get out of her car. I just can't tell her she can't drive it.
What?
I can't make her really get out of her car, I mean, if I'm not arresting her.
Take your stories, take two.
I am. I know what I'm talking about. Let me go deal with her real quick, just a second.
I'll probably pull a case number, but
okay.
Let me out if you need me.
Yep, thank you. Hey, Dawn. Miss Dawn. Hey. Come on, step out here for me. Because I want you to. Because I'm going to talk to you.
I can't touch you right now.
No, I want you to step out.
I'd like to stay in the vehicle if there's a reason why.
Yeah, I want you to step out.
But there's not a reason for me to
because
step out
I told you to step out, okay?
Instead of giving her a ticket for this minor offense, the deputy ordered her to step outside her car. The woman resisted as she knew she had not committed any crime to be taken out of the vehicle. Deputy Newman, however, was about to completely lose her mind as she went on to do something shocking.
So let's not, I want you to step out because I need you to step out, okay?
I need to have a reason.
You don't have to. Where is it stating that you have to have a
back over here,
yeah,
please?
come on. Get out. Get out of the car. 1159 Cameron, I need another unit.
40 you en route.
Get out of the vehicle. I will break this window.
You need them 1018.
She won't get out of the car. Get out of the car, so I'm going to break that window.
You're not going to break the window.
18 Cameron, I'm mobile. I'll be to her in 30 seconds.
Get out of the vehicle. Get out of the vehicle right now. Oh my God.
Newman still couldn't answer her questions as to why she was being treated like this. She had no reasonable, articulable suspicion to detain her. She kept on trying to get inside the car and was even issuing threats of breaking her window. As the woman once again declined, the deputy took matters into her own hands.
Listen to me. I really don't want to break your window. I really don't. But when I tell you to get out of the vehicle, you are to get out of the vehicle. So get out of the vehicle.
1118 is 23.
Are you kidding me? Get out of the vehicle right now.
This officer just hit the damn front of the vehicle.
Get out of the vehicle. Get out of the... Get out! Right, get the out of my fucking car. Right now, get out. Get out of the fucking car. Get out!
The corrupt deputy went on a dangerous power trip, and as she was the poor woman, her body cam fell off. However, her dash cam recorded everything, and you'll be stunned to see what she did.
Get the out of my fucking car! Right now, get out! Get out of the fucking car! Get out!
Newman her brutally by taking her to the ground and ultimately handcuffing her. However, things were about to go from bad to worse as the corrupt deputy was still enraged.
You're right, Sister. Okay. She hurt, she want, or need medical attention.
I'll ask her in a minute.
Christy's fine. I got Christy. You go check on her. You okay?
I'm sorry.
It's all right. You're okay. Relax.
I just wanted her to step out of the car so I could
know.
talk to her about her. We already discussed it.
Even with handcuffs on, Newman struck her in the face multiple times. She went completely berserk, and the other officers had to intervene. It's disgusting how such individuals are allowed to become cops.
I'm so mad. I'm so like, the f did that even come from?
Camden, go ahead and start me a squad for the suspect.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you did everything. I think you did great. You didn't shoot.
I'm just not that person. I know sometimes I'm going to have to taste it, but I'm just a hands-on person.
I think you did great.
However, soon after this incident, Newman was fired from the sheriff's office, and she faced 6 charges, including 1 count of aggravated, 1 count of simple battery, 1 count of making a false statement, and 3 counts of violating her oath of office. She soon turned herself in, and her bond was set at $10,000. The case will go to trial soon, and we hope this tyrant cop gets the maximum sentence. And here's another officer who loves pulling people over without any reason.
You can't just pull me over because I said the police. Is that a question?
Yes, sir. Is that your current?
Do I answer questions?
Okay, I'll just assume that's incorrect then.
In July 2022, a First Amendment auditor known as Clear Lake Community Watch from his YouTube channel noticed a police officer pulling someone over and casually passed a remark. Surprisingly, the officer immediately concluded his stop and then pulled over the auditor.
F police!
Roll it down?
Why do you pull me over?
I'll tell you that if you roll it down.
Why can't you tell me now?
Because the reason I pulled you over is you were yelling something from your car.
So what?
Huh?
So what? That's why you pull me over, because I'm yelling?
I don't know if you're in need of help or anything.
Oh, I don't need help.
So,
thank you.
okay.
Deputy Vega from the Harris County Sheriff's Office should have much thicker skin than this, as he just conducted a traffic stop on a person who was only exercising his constitutional right to speech.
Let me see your driver's license real quick.
I don't need help.
Okay, you guys see your driver's license?
What for?
You didn't use the turn signal when you made a turn.
Of course I did.
Let me see your driver's license.
You can hear the sound on the dash cam too.
Let me see your driver's license real quick. You can just crack the window if that's what you want to do.
It's already cracked.
I can't see that.
Well,
This thing.
It doesn't matter. Here. I don't wish to answer questions.
You have to let me know if there's a weapon in the car. Did you not take the class?
I did.
Did they tell you you have to tell them?
When you demand identification, I have to display this. That's what they told me in the class, that's what the law says.
If the officer wants to take the
And
weapon,
actually, if I don't display, there's really not much you can do because there is no penalty attached to that. I have to carry this if I'm carrying this.
are you hearing?
I don't answer questions.
The deputy had no reason to pull him over, as he was now trying to make up a reason to write him a ticket.
So if you have a weapon in the car, then what?
You got one on your hip. So what?
Do I smell alcohol in your breath?
No, you don't.
How do I know?
Because you can't smell my
I
breath?
can smell something coming
Oh,
out.
really?
Let's see. Let me do some field sobriety.
I don't think so.
Okay. Yeah, where are you coming from?
Huh?
Where are you coming from?
You saw me where I was coming from.
I just saw you driving down.
Are you done with this?
I'm done with that, yeah.
All right, cool.
Where are you coming from?
I don't answer questions, I've already told you. Let me know when I'm free to go.
Deputy Vega's feelings had been hurt, but he tried to make the stop seem lawful. However, the auditor stood up to him, never intimidated by the tyrant.
I want you exiting the vehicle because you have a weapon in the car.
Did
Or
I
I'm going
exit
to-
the?
or I'm going to
Did I
assume you
exit
have-
the vehicle?
I'm
Did I
giving you a
exit
heads
the
up.
vehicle?
Give you a heads up.
Did I exit the vehicle? Hey, can I? You do have a dash cam, right? Very good. You can't just pull me over because I said police. I hope you realize that. Stupid.
Vega decided to come over again, asking for the auditor's insurance. Despite knowing that the deputy had no legal basis for the stop, the auditor continued to comply with Vega's command.
You have insurance on the vehicle?
Yeah,
Can you show it to me, please? It doesn't come back.
of course it comes back.
Not on my system, it doesn't. Also, it's not typical behavior for somebody to be yelling out of the vehicle. Have you had anything to drink tonight? Is that your current address? 1622?
Is that a question?
Yes, sir. Is that your current
Do
address?
I answer questions?
Okay, I'll just assume that's incorrect then.
And why would you do that? Did you read my address on the driver
It
license?
didn't have an address. It didn't
That-
have an apartment number on your driver's
Of course it
license.
does.
Let me see. Can you verify?
You've already seen it. I've already complied with that part.
I know, but I'm just saying it didn't have a driver. It didn't have an apartment number.
Of course it does.
On your address, on your driver's license.
Man.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Finally, the power-tripping top returned with a warning for failure to signal 100 feet before the turn. It was evident that he was just trying to make up for the unlawful traffic stop.
Can I say that I've never met anybody quite like you that would yell at an officer doing their job, but
So,
you have a great
let
day.
me
There's no
understand.
warnings, no fines, no penalties.
May I ask you a question?
There's questions on there. There's the address.
Yeah,
There's
no, I
the-
have a
there's
question.
an incident
Can you
number
get your
on the thing right
supervisor here, please? Is the stop over?
there. The stop is over. You may leave.
All right.
I don't exit until I get out. Until I leave.
Well, you said the stop is over, right? Okay, I'm not getting out. I will. Okay, there is no need to draw your weapon, man. Fucking drawing your weapon, you. I didn't get out of the car. You told me that already. Yeah. Did I get out of the car? Go. Yeah, right over there you can.
Well, that brings us to the end of this video. Today, we witnessed cases where corrupt police officers got some quick karma. These ignorant cops surely learned a timely lesson and will hopefully be much more respectful towards the law in the future. If you agree with me, please consider showing your support by liking this video and make sure to subscribe to stay informed about future cases like these. Also, if you enjoyed this video, check out the next video here.